where we're really starting to notice the effects.
Well, it's a no, that's interesting you say that, because it would be the whole population wouldn't notice all the effects. It must be a certain subset of the population that maybe is super sensitive, that where they wouldn't, like almost like the canary in the coal mine.
Look at how the autoimmune diseases, the strange unknown chemical sensitivities, the bizarre things that used to be almost completely unheard of back in the 1970s and 80s are so prevalent now.
I have absolutely noticed that.
Look at how many people have allergies, though. Okay, something not as drastic as CFS or whatever, but now every single person, I feel like, has some allergy
to something.
At least over half the population has seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
And that again is an immune system thing.
Yeah, that's why I came up with the nanoparticle theory. If you have a chronic immune activation where the immune system is constantly going after something that it can't quite find, can't quite get rid of, what's the natural consequence?
It's going to just be in a constant state of
inflammation.
Yeah.
Trying to respond. Its best way it'll be able to respond, the body in that case, will be, I need to inflame and make sure it doesn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, it's going to be on high alert, and it's going to go after anything it can find.
Yeah.
An autoimmune disease.
Well, autoimmune, classical autoimmunity is the idea that the immune system has made a terrible mistake.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas
what if it has?
This is more like autoactivation, where the immune system is not necessarily mistaken, but it's going after something that it cannot remove.
The nanoparticle stuck in the tissues that it can't do anything about.
So as more inflammatory elements are brought to bear, there's going to be more collateral damage. Unfortunately, the solution is about the solution to global warming, and probably for the same thing. It's cut down on industrial pollution. Stop the nanoparticles. We've got to limit industry, and we've got to stop putting specific types of pollution into the atmosphere. And if that means grounding all the jets to save humanity.
Sounds reasonable.
I mean, I love airplanes, but if I were in charge, we'd all be taking boats.
Or, you got these speed trains that can go at nearly 300 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily build those, go a worldwide network of those. I would say in a decade, if everyone concentrated on it and cared.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we cared enough, we could do it.
Right. Or a different form of propulsion.
The atmosphere, it's just too sensitive to deal with the kind of pollutants that we're dumping into it.
I used to think, Mike and we used to think, oh geez, all this green everything, give me a break, this world is big enough to handle what we're throwing at it. But I don't know, I'm thinking, people are sick, really sick.
And so, a certain subset of the population is excessively sick.
But people aren't vibrant, we're addicted to Little House on the Prairie. They were vibrant back then. It was like they died. I'm not saying they didn't die, but when they lived. People don't live now. People survive with chronic something all the time. And just from my grandfather's generation to my daughter's generation, the massive difference between the health and the immune system of my grandfather versus
the autism, the obesity, the multiple chemical
everything.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Something's changed.
Yeah, it's like, why aren't doctors sounding the alarm? Why aren't they scared? Why aren't they as scared as I am?
See, the global warming thing, what causes warming or cooling on the planet is the sun. We can't do much about the sun. The sun either has a cycle of the warming trend or it has a cooling trend. And we as humanity we are not large enough to affect the climate in that way, but we are large enough to affect our health due to nanoparticles. That I can see that. I can see where if you reach a certain population and enough industry reaches everywhere, then these same pollutants will start showing up and killing us all off. I can see how humanity could potentially poison the planet.
Well, that's
different. If you just don't say global warming, if they stop marketing it as we need to, this is climate change. Well, the climate always changes. That's a dumb argument. Stop it. Let's go with, we're killing ourselves with pollution. Let's stop it.
Yeah,
I think more people will believe it.
Whatever measures are necessary to supposedly stop climate change are precisely the same ones that would keep us from getting sick from this type of pollution.
Indeed.
So it'd be a good thing no matter what.
Right. So remarket it. Quit going with this stupid lie and go with one that all of us can look at and go, you know what? It makes sense. I live in LA, you know, and I look at the air that I'm breathing and it looks horrible. You know, I see smog around me everywhere. That's a form of nanoparticles sitting in the atmosphere, I would imagine. If I could, that is the exhaust coming out of my car and everyone else's car, all finally getting together in a valley, just like it would be here. That has a kind of a valley to it. And there's this, and it just gets smog.
Yeah, in addition to the cloud seeding, the pollution from the San Joaquin Valley, which is kind of upwind of us, kept getting a little bit higher every year. For so many years, I used to drive over Donner Summit, look down at the smog, that brown cloud down in Sacramento, and I go, thank God it's all down there.
That's right.
And maybe it'll start killing these people off, and you know.
You're funny.
I thought, if the day ever comes that this brown cloud gets so high that it spills